well, beat the entire game off screen. LP over. Okay, no, seriously, the list of things that occurred off screen. Bit of leveling up to 45. Left Pompey in the PC this time because he's pretty much been soloing these trainers, and I can definitely use that help, but I'd like to see if I can get by without it, so we're gonna give that a shot. New moveset changes. I did shuffle around some held items, though, so we've got Iron Plate. Pretty much anything that's just a plate is a placeholder, because I don't have anything better. I did pick up a Light Clay earlier, went ahead and gave it here. I do have to mention something about this moveset later, but I'll get to that later. Hence why I said later. King's Rock, which I actually don't know if it works on half of these moves, because I looked up some information on it, and apparently, in Gen 3, it worked on anything that didn't already have a second effect. In Gen 5, it worked on anything that doesn't already flinch. In Gen 4, it's some weird in-between zone where some moves work and some don't, and it's kind of arbitrary, and the only list that seems to exist is on Smogon, but it's like an older version of Smogon that is only accessible through the Wayback Machine, and it wasn't loading, so I don't know, whatever. Metronome goes really well with rollout, so put that there. Quick Clock is slowness. You're an HM slave. Metronome I actually didn't have. I had to steal it off of a wild Chatot. That's basically all you missed. And here's a trainer. Let's, now that Ori is up to par with the rest of the team, let's see if we can get any good results with the person skiing in a rectangle. I thought that said medieval. Well, 4 times weak to fighting. The real question here is, will I be able to get in the first hit? Because it would be nice if I did, but I didn't. Oh no, that did so much damage. How am I going to survive? I did remember one other thing, though, because when I was going through the held items, there was one item in particular that actually stood out to me, and that was the Sticky Barb. It does consistent damage every turn, and it has to pass on to an opponent basically by them doing contact. And I'm thinking, hey, that'll go well with Magic Guard, I'll give this to Caroline, it'll be kind of awesome. However, it disappears, because if you're using it in like a Wi-Fi battle, or like a battle factor, not battle tower type thing, like those will let you get it back, but normal in-game use it'll disappear, which is a bit lame. So anyways, let's just move on. Here we gotta do the semi-mirror match. It is required by law in several states. But yeah, the moveset problem that I realized here is, my logic for keeping Barrier was, first of all, because it can be stacked multiple times, whereas Reflect can't. Also, because I was thinking of going with a eventual Baton Pass moveset here. Problem with that, if I use Baton Pass, I have to get rid of Light Screen, and then that basically means I'm only going to be passing one stat, which is not all that useful, honestly. Or I could get rid of Thunderbolt, which I don't want to do because it's a good attack, and I used up the TM and I don't want to waste it. So I think I'm probably going to end up not doing the Baton Pass thing, and just get rid of Barrier and put Reflect back on. But I'm going to leave that one kind of up to the chat. If anybody has any preference of like what would make the most sense here, I may listen to it. It's ultimately probably not going to matter that much. I could turn Pennywise just completely into, like, a being of passing on defense boosts and not much else. I could have, like, Barrier, Substitute, possibly some third move, and Baton Pass, and then no attacking moves whatsoever. But, yeah, that would be kind of lame. It would basically turn into something that I use for, like, boss fights and absolutely nothing else, because there would be no attacking power. I picked a good choice here. Can't get damaged by hail, can't get damaged by burn, can't get hit by ghost moves. So, there we go. And let's immediately lose the good decision. I'll see if I can do any damage against this thing. No, not really. Here, get in with it. Oh yeah, one other thing, actually. While I was kind of looking over items and stuff, I had that, wide zoom... I think it was a zoom lens. That one that I bought way long time ago, and it, like, boosts the accuracy of moves. I was going to put that on Stacy, because it's useful to have an extra boost on Thunder and Iron Tail. But that was the item that only works if you're slower than the target. And Stacy does outspeed most things, so that wouldn't really work. I'd have to get the other one, which I think is the wide lens. And that one, is... You can get it off of Wild Yanma, but those are only in the Safari Zone, and I don't really want to catch a bunch of those, so that would be annoying. Or I could buy one from the Game Corner, which I might do, but I don't know if I really need it. Alright. At least there is a healing spot here, that is good. Yeah. So, I think that was the only other item I was really considering. Oh, no, there's also the, I forget what they're called. Some kind of glasses item. Because there was that guy in Celestic Town. He gives you the black glasses if it's day, which I already got, and you get the choice specs in the morning, which are... in the morning! Choice specs are useful for metagaming, but I don't think I really need it for this playthrough. Oh, that's some snow. Okay. You better not be walking barefoot in the snow, because that's not the best of ideas. Alright, whatever. That was useful. What was I going to say? Yeah, choice specs I don't think I'm going to use in-game. There was another one, I forget the name of the item. It raises special attacks by 10%, which is kind of useful, but eh. If it was nighttime, I'd get it. I could change the clock. I didn't feel like it, though. So, what's your story? That sounds like something that one of those weird black belts with the musical voice that I would give. Ugh. Yeah, that's not gonna go so well. I don't have any ground moves. Oh, yeah, I do. I was like, I don't have any ground moves. I forgot. Not that I'll outspeed it. Oh. Hanging on with 1 HP like a champ. Excellent. And then dead from hail. Whatever. Not sure if I told this story before, and it's a really lame and uninteresting story, but I'll tell it anyway because it's relevant to this area. When I was in... I'm tempted to say, like, 4th or 5th grade, I don't remember. It was one of those younger years. I had, like... I'm trying to think how to start this story. It's not really... you don't need any backstory on it at all. I'm being stupid. Basically, in gym / PE / whatever you want to call it, in winter one year we did cross-country skiing, which is freaking stupid. But it was... I mean, I guess it's fine if you're into that kind of thing, but it was basically just strap on some skis and shuffle around the frickin' field in the back of the school, and then come back in and act like it was fun. No, that was basically what we did. And it was bad because it was just kind of not interesting in the slightest, and it was annoying. But the reason I'm telling this story is because... Can we please get out of this battle? Alright, let's go back and heal again, and then lead with not a slow Pokemon. Anyway, the reason I'm telling this story is because what happened to me was we did the cross-country skiing stuff, went out into the field. This isn't a big field by any means, but you have to understand, when you're like a kid and want to go wee but you ain't got drugs yet, it's difficult to like, shuffle on these stupid skis that are, like, as big as you are, or bigger, and I don't know. I was basically out in the middle of the field, like, as far as I possibly could be from the school, when the whistle blew, and it's like, okay, we're heading in, time to, like, get back to class. And I'm like, oh, great. So I'm trying to shuffle my way back through the frickin' snow. And the problem with these things is, like, if you don't know what you're doing, it's really, really hard to walk with them. And I ended up, like, twisting my ankle because I, like, couldn't turn around good enough or something. And so trying to, like, move back through this snow with these stupid gigantic things strapped to my feet wasn't really working out, so I'm like, fuck this. And I just took them off. And the thing about the skis is you don't strap them to your own shoes. There were, like, shoes already on them that you just put on. And so I didn't have shoes. I just had to walk through the, like, frickin' snow all the way back, and it was very cold and very stupid, and like I said, the story went nowhere. There was no ending to this other than I walked through snow with no shoes. Oh no. This has never happened to anybody ever before. But I don't know. It filled a couple minutes. Pretty good story. So, I'm noticing confusion is quite a problem with rollout. I've been running into it quite a bit when trying to level up earlier, and now it's happening again. Ooh, and poison. Cool. Now I just need to get, like, attracted, and then we'll have the unholy trifecta. Or we could just beat him, okay. But yeah, speaking of random stuff to talk about, let's go ahead and go to the next Pokemon playthrough. This is for White 2, which I did pick up on launch day, and went through in a matter of like a month or whatever, like I usually do. Since I hadn't learned my lesson and thought that going through the games with 12 Pokemon was still a good idea, I did do that for this playthrough, as well as several playthroughs to come after this one. So team of 12 on this one, just gonna go down the list. I've got Superior, named Vinny, not named after Vinny from Vine Sauce, because I didn't know about Vine Sauce yet. It was just, it's a vine snake, Vine equals Vinny, I don't know. I guess that's where the name Vine Sauce also came from, but again, wasn't based on that. I had a Basculin named Steiny, which, if you don't know, is from a Strong Bad email. Steiny, get me a Danish! It's just kind of a stupid name that I thought was funny. And interesting thing with this one, the Basculin was, actually a good number of these team members were from the Dream World, but the Basculin was from the Dream World, and it came with an ability that I didn't really like. I forget which one it was. The way that Basculin works is it has the two different forms, and in the original Black and White, they're designed so that both of them have, like, two abilities that they can get normally, and then there's the hidden ability, which wasn't actually available because there were no Gen 5 things in the Dream World yet. But there was a specific blue form Basculin with a different ability that you could get from an in-game trade in White only. And that was supposed to be its second ability for the blue form, but it, like, wasn't coded right. It was really weird, and again, I don't actually remember which ability is which. I think Rockhead was the one that wasn't coded in properly. But, I started with a red form, and I didn't like its ability, and I eventually ditched it. Got a different one, blue form Basculin, which I nicknamed Steinyman, like M apostrophe N at the end. And my reasoning behind this one is that the original Steiny basically had a superhero, like, alter ego named Steinyman, and he was just wearing a mask. So that was how that one went. A lot of backstory for this frickin' fish, but, yeah, that was still only one team member. I had a Heatmore named Muffy. Didn't really have any reasoning behind that name other than, hey, I need a name for this thing. I can't think of anything. It's kind of an anteater. Were there any anteaters that I can think of? Well, no, it is an anteater. Like, are there any anteaters I can think of in the media that have, like, interesting names? No. There's Arthur, who is an aardvark, which is kind of like an anteater. There's a character from that show named Muffy. This thing looks like it has car parts on it. Muffler. Muffy. There we go. Good name. That was my reasoning for that one. Scraggy was... or Scrafty, rather, was named MCP Pants after a rapper from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. That was the one that I had originally started to use in the original White playthrough, but then ditched because I ran out of space for it and saved it for this game. Braviary was named Tobias, named after a character from Animorphs. Cophagregus was named Sharia, which is Brenna's middle name, and it sounds like Sahara, so I'm like, whatever. Garbodor was Garbo. Really unoriginal name, but I like the name Garbo. It's the red square with a blank expression from Bargo the Big Dip. Behem, which I still think is one of the worst Pokemon names ever. Named that one Adrian after Adrian Monk, because he's kind of an alien, I don't know. Ooh, here's actually the worst nickname ever. I had a Bisharp named Hamey. It was... for anybody who... Again, this is another Animorphs name. Anybody who knows about that series should know what a Hork-Bajir is. If you don't, they're basically these aliens that are, like, covered with blades and stuff. So I'm thinking, like, hey, this thing's covered with blades. There was a character from that named, like, Jera Hamey. That was a Hork-Bajir, and so I just took the last name. I don't know. Had an Escavalier, which I'm now hearing is apparently pronounced Escavalier? Escavalier? I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm gonna call it Escavalier. Named it Kiera. I don't really remember why. An Excelgor named Shelby, because it's a shell. It doesn't have the shell anymore, but shut up. And Golurk named Hoghug, which was an Iron Giant reference. So that was my team of 12. There was an additional team of 6 beyond this 12 that was specifically used for post-game stuff, like the World Tournament, Battle Subway, that kind of crap. So I had Enz Zoroark, which couldn't have a nickname. Volcarona, named Cecilia, because there's like a species of moth that was similar sounding to that. Ditto with its hidden ability, which I called Copy Pasta. The shiny Haxorus from the Nature Preserve I named Eurytovic. It was a boss from Mario RPG. The hidden ability Gothitelle from the Dream World event, which I named Burton Pile, because it's basically a pile of something that Tim Burton would come up with. And at that point I'm like, well, I have 5 Pokemon that all have, like, interesting origins. I need a 6th one to fit with this. Didn't really come up with anything all that great. Decided to use the Snorlax from the Yancey trade, and it couldn't get a nickname because it was an in-game trade, so... Those were my 6, that, again, were not used in-game at all, except for, like, the very end. And so, at this point, I had the team of 12, the extra team of 6, the original team of 12 from the first White, plus the Stoutland that I abandoned in that game, plus the team of 11 from my second playthrough of White, which gave me a grand total of, I think that was 48. I actually didn't... I'm not doing the math in my head. I think it was 48 Pokemon that I basically had to cycle through for the White Tree Hollow, which I did actually do on video. But, so there we go. I got Rock Climb. That is good. I'll be using that at some point, and here's an Icicle Plate. Sure. Yeah. I think there's a bunch of hidden items in the snow. I might come back and find them if there's useful things. I don't know if there is or not. But as for the White 2 playthrough, aside from what I've already said about it, I want to say this was actually the game that I... Despite the fact that I didn't specifically go for a full living dex in this one, since I was already doing that in the original White, this is probably the one that I put the most time into, because I usually don't do anything with battle facilities, but I did in this game. I did complete the World Tournament. I think I did everything except for the specific type challenges. And even then, I think I did it for, like, Bug and maybe, like, 1 or 2 other types. But I did those. I did a fair amount of Subway stuff. Never, like, completed it, though. Did the Tree Hollow. I did all of the Pokestar movies. I suffered through the frickin', like, musicals for far longer than anybody ever should because I wanted to get all the accessories. I believe I did actually get every star on the trainer card in that game, if I'm remembering right. Because I don't think you needed to beat the Subway, I think you just needed to get to a certain point, which I want to say I did. I'm not positive. But yeah. That was that game. I enjoyed it. People occasionally ask me on streams, like, Coach Z, why don't you dance no more? And I say, ladies, just give me a chance to do a hip-hop dance. But, seriously though, people sometimes ask me what my favorite Pokemon game is, and I don't really have an answer, because a lot of them have good and bad parts, but I think overall, Black and White 2 are probably the most solid. They had a lot of good features. I would have liked to see the following Pokemon from the Johto remakes come back in those, and in that, like, at that point, they probably would have been perfect in my eyes. Okay, why are we searching for hidden items here? Did you already find them? Is that why there's none here? I guess it's just a hint that, like, there's stuff in the snow. I don't know. Here's a creepy house. Gives you a thing to ward off ghosts. Alright. Are you good? Oh, no, it ghost boosting thing. Okay. Well, bye. It's like they were never there. Pokemon games are weird sometimes. The thing that Frostlass is based off is kind of similar to that. I don't remember the name of it. I know that Frostlass's Japanese name is Yuki Minoko, which is similar to the thing. It's just some kind of, like, weird yokai that, I guess, like, appears in the snow and leads you to doom or something. I don't know. But I think... Well, that thing didn't lead me to doom, it just gave me a gift and disappeared, so I don't know what I'm saying. Shut up. Let's just get through the snowy areas, because they're kind of tedious. I was starting to say that last time, I think, because I like the fact that there is a snowy area in this game, because it's diversity. It makes sense for the region. It's supposed to be, like, the most northern region and all that crap, but there's an item. Alright. Is there any other stuff here? Again, I don't want to search everywhere for items. I'm just trying to make sure I found everything of use. I don't think I fought this guy, though. Actually, I don't think I've used you in a while. Here. And there's a little lump down there that's probably a trainer. Oh, wait, did I already fight these people? Yeah, I did. So, wandering back so I can go heal. I don't know for a fact if I fought everybody, but if I didn't, it's not a huge deal. I can come back, I guess. Mainly, I just want to get onto the city so that I can not do the gym. I don't know. I'm definitely not doing the gym in this video, and if I do get to the city, I don't imagine there's going to be a whole lot to do there, so I guess we can wander around in the snow a bit longer, because it's so fun. Let's do this at normal speed. Yeah, this is why I'm speeding it up. There are certain parts that are deeper than others. You can't tell by looking. It's just wander around and hope you don't get stuck in the snow. I wonder why everyone stops being a ninja when they grow up. I'm now gonna make some reference to, like, The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, the Goosebumps book. I think there was, like, a line from that that was like, I thought that you would have gotten over your mummy obsession, and then he's like, yeah, well, our uncle didn't, because he's an archaeologist, and she's like, oh, that was a good comeback. I don't know what to do now. And then there was the Goosebumps book where somebody threw bees at people. I think that was the one with the Mudmen. God, did I talk... That was like a long time ago. I found this... I don't even remember what it was called. I think Reader Beware. Or no, Blogger Beware. It was a blog that basically went over all the Goosebumps books and pointed out all the really stupid things about them. Which there were plenty of. I remember that, like, there was a running trend of, like, every single book had to have, like, a character that lost something and found it again, only for it to just randomly disappear halfway through the book. Like, they would just forget about it. Because R.L. Stine and his various ghostwriters were not the greatest authors. I don't know, I still thought those books were okay as a kid, but they probably weren't all that great. Well, that Krogunk kind of kicked my ass. Don't think there's too many trainers left though, so I'm not gonna be too upset over the loss. Gotta have the mirror match. Yeah, I think I've got this one. And there we go. Is that our first level 46? Huh. Not that 46 is a significant number by any means, but it's like the one that was lagging behind is now the first one to get there. It's almost relevant. Well, not relevant, but it's almost notable, I guess we'll say. So, Lake Acuity. Can't really get to it yet. Right? Hold on. Let me make sure. Because Rock Climb is a weird move. It makes sense in the field. You use it to climb up walls, obviously. Using it as an attack, I just imagine that the Pokemon, like, rushes forward and climbs over its enemy, and that's why it causes them to become confused, because they're like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, as far as HMs go, it's a normal type move, so by default it's not that great, but it's actually not too bad. It's a good base power, chance of confusion is nice. I don't think I can... Yeah, these are all HMs. Rock Smash is an HM in this gen, right? Yeah. So I can't teach it yet, I'll have to fly back. Even if I could teach it, I don't think I can use it until I get the next badge, so... Even if I wanted to go to Lake Acuity, I'm not able to yet. Also, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know how else you would say that. What is it? I will just imagine this trainer as Butters, even though it's a woman. And that voice that I did was nothing like Butters at all. I don't care. Still fighting Bunearys, I see. Oh, jeez. Here I am making fun of Buneary. Apparently it's kind of formidable. Okay. Seaking! Best Pokemon ever, yay. I'm gonna die to Waterfall or something, yay. Oh. Or confusion! Why does foliage always get confused? This is not a good thing to have happen. Can I please use this... Oh, man, death from Waterfall. Yep. The first and only time anybody has ever lost to a Seaking. One of these days I'm going to use a Seaking. I don't know when. Before... Oh, here's Baton Pass. Ugh. Again, I want to leave this one up to the chat, or the comment section, rather. Not going to teach it right now. If I do want it, I can use a heart scale. I should have a few of those. You can get them from the underground. But yeah, I like the idea of Baton Pass, and I've always kind of wanted to try it out, but I've never really had a section to use it. I don't know. Can I get through this next section with only 2 Pokemon? I'm not sure if there's any trainers left. That looks like a hidden item, as we trudge incredibly slowly through the snow. And it is not, okay. But yeah, climb up that wall and then you get to the lake, because lakes are known for being at high elevations. God damn it, this guy is annoying. No, I actually don't mind him, but I have to point out that he has a slightly obnoxious personality every time he shows up, because otherwise people might get the wrong idea. I'm not sure what wrong idea this is, though. Trudging through the incredibly slow snow. That looks like an arrow pointing up. I know there's an item there, but is there any other item? Ultra Ball, don't really care. Oh, that's just another... Okay, there's an item. I'll be getting that at some point. Once I gain the ability to use Rock Climb, I will be touring the land and finding all the strength boulders and rock climb walls. Also, let's move the mouse off the screen. So yeah, that's the thing you come back for later. And... okay. Would have never guessed that this snowy place is snowy and cold. Also, have to point out yet again that for some reason, anything that involves snow, like, always has a really generic name. Like, you've got Snow Point in this game, you've got Snow Peak in Twilight Princess, you've got Snowhead in Majora's Mask, which is slightly less generic. There's Pokemon named Snover and Snowrunt. I don't know, it's just a thing that I noticed, and I'm, like, slightly annoyed by it. It's not as bad as electric types, though. I swear, like, every electric type has to have some kind of shitty name. Like, you've got Electrode, Electrike, Electros, and Electric, for that matter. So I'll get that snowmail. There's, oh, and let's not forget Elekid, Electabuzz, Electivire. There's, like, so many with electric in the name. I mean, all Pokemon names are puns anyway, or most of them are, but the electric ones get, like, the short end of the stick. This town sucks. That's what makes it unique. So, let's heal up. Maylene! Oh yeah, there's a temple that I can't get into. Are you taking the gym challenge now? Wasn't that already when I fought you? That, like, wasn't that long ago. Who could have ever guessed that the person in the snow town is using ice types? Okay, that sentence there, actually. Let me read that again. Proof that sound needs to be a type, because ice fricking needs another resistance. Currently, ice is the worst defensive type because it only resists itself and it has a lot of really common weaknesses. If sound was a type, then that would be the first priority, is to make ice good against it, because Lord knows it needs it. But unfortunately, probably not going to happen. We can always hope. It seemed for a very long time that they would never make any new types after Gen 2, but then Fairy happened, so I don't know.
Hey everybody, post in the comments if you think sound should be a type.
No, don't. I mean, you can if you want to, but we've had that conversation before. I still don't really understand the arguments against it, so
hey guys, if you have an argument for why it shouldn't be a type, post it in the comments.
Not sure who I'm impersonating here. Trendy saying, is it going to be adult anime? I see. You know those stock prices. Oh. What do you teach, actually? You've got... no. None of these really appeal to me. Synthesis would be good if I still had, Terrence on the team, but I don't. The other ones... not all that great. So, I think we're going to be skipping on this tutor. Ignoring the gym. For some reason. I don't know why the temple is blocked off. It seems kind of arbitrary. Like, there's a couple National Dex things in there, like Jinx. Actually, Jinx might even be the only one. Oh yeah, by the way, this is a frickin' troll of a trade here. Because, if you know your stuff, you'll be like, hey, Haunter evolves by trade. That'll be cool. And, in the Japanese blue version, you could actually do that. You could get a Gengar from an in-game trade. This one doesn't work because she gives it an Everstone. It sucks. I don't know why they troll you like that. It's really lame. So, is that basically everything here? Did I go in this house? I already forgot. Yeah, I did. Okay, so that's basically Snow Point. Up here is a temple, which is like, oh no, you can't go in here. It's a temple. Is there any hidden stuff? It doesn't look like it. Got some funky icons on the front of that temple. I wonder what those could mean. But yeah, we'll be coming back there in the post-game, I guess. It's not all that interesting, but there is one thing of note in there. And I guess that basically leaves the gym, so once again, just let me know if you think Baton Pass should be a thing. Like, I'll give it a shot if people think it would be interesting, but I don't know if it would be. And then I guess we'll do the gym, and then we'll go around and collect a bunch of crap, because that'll be fun. So, to end this video, I will add up 2 random numbers, see what cry it gets, and then see if I can identify what cry it is. That is Lucario.